The hardest part about taking a road trip is actually leaving and going on your adventure. The talking and planning aspect can be fun, if not a little challenging, but to actually hit the open road with your friends is something else entirely. But the memories you take away from it will last a lifetime. For this road trip, George and I travel over 3,000 miles to reach a place that has been on our bucket list for a very long time, the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. And this is Adventure GT. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Adventure GT. I'm Jake.
And I'm George. And today is finally the day. We're taking off. I've been teasing it for a couple weeks now. We are finally going on our trip. Today's day one.
And we're going to Utah. And riding along with us are our cam girls. I thought you guys were going to say, what? Screw yeah, bonkers. We can just leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
Think it's good enough?
Now hit record this time.
As we leave on our journey and start driving through our beautiful home state of Iowa, it's worth noting that from here to the Salt Flats, it's not exactly 3,000 miles. But following this, we will be exploring the state and doing a lot of overlanding, resulting in our 3,000 mile milestone.
I believe last time we were on a trip, it would have been on the Ozarks, and that was way before I had any sort of mods on the car. And I mean, that's before I had my wheels, my tires, my lift kit, just anything really, besides maybe some LED lights that I swapped out. I think this trip is really going to put everything to the test. I don't necessarily think we're going to do a lot of off-roading, any sort of obstacles that's going to require the extra lift, but it's always good to have. You never know. The wheels are definitely going to be nice. The only downfall to it currently is because they're bigger tires, because they're heavier, and because they're, you know, thicker, bigger. It is going to take my gas mileage down quite a bit. One thing that I think is personally a little annoying is the roof basket. It is right above me. The front of it is right above my head. And I think it's a mix of that with the My Sky feature, because it's not a fully sealed top. And you can hear it when it's windy, when we're driving. It's pretty noisy. But, you know, we brought it just in case. We do plan on sleeping in the car, so possibly all our gear we're going to throw up top, throw a tarp over it for in case it rains. Yeah, I think we're about an hour in on a 19-hour drive. So, oh, there goes Jake. We're honestly just playing leapfrog at this point.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey bro, just wanted to check your gas mileage. What's your gas gauge at? How you looking?
I'm between half and 3/4.
Okay, wow. Alright.
So how about this? Let's have a little gas challenge, all right? You have a nice Jeep Renegade. I have an old 20-year-old Subaru, and I have all of our camping gear. So what do you say we try to keep a contest on who's going to use more gas on this trip?
Well, I'm not sure what you're sitting at, but you sound confident, but I'm in.
Okay, goals for engagement, anything on top, or are we just going to keep track of how much we drive?
I guess whoever has to tell each other first, I need gas.
All right, man, game on. Okay, so little does George know, and I'm also not telling my significant other that we're not gonna have AC. I'm gonna win this challenge. Sorry.
I'm so screwed.
By this point in our journey, we leave the open fields of Iowa for the Great Plains of Nebraska. We are only about 300 miles into our trip with a long road in front of us, but that will have to wait just a minute as we stop for our first fuel up. Your gas light come on?
So my gas light did not come on, but I did get under a quarter of a tank, and since I have Casey's rewards, I'm only paying $1.12. I redeemed all my points.
The gas price is normally $3.35 right now. This is our first fill up. I honestly thought I was gonna have you beat, but I was also under a quarter tank. So it's actually gonna be a close one. I'm a little worried how much gas we're actually gonna spend on this trip, just in how many gallons versus our cost.
Well, let's see, we just got into Omaha. And we're about, what, 3.5, 4 hours in?
Yeah.
So, honestly though, I thought you had me beat as well. Did you know your car has a 16.9 gallon tank and mine has a 12.6, 7?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that your car weighs 4,200 pounds and mine weighs 3,200 pounds?
So, I mean, you are hauling quite a bit. You are using bigger, heavier tires, and I'm only going to pay $12 for gas.
Okay, so that's not fair. Another thing that really sucks, the H6 motor that I just put in takes premium gas. You can put the cheap in there, so maybe just to try to move forward on this competition, I might mix premium and cheap but I think I'm gonna spend more and he's gonna use more gallons. Our goal is to put as many miles behind us as possible. The plan is to drive long into the night, and as such, our hotel is located in Sidney, Nebraska, approximately 6 hours away or 400 miles. Throughout the night, we noticed that George's spare tire carrier was obscuring his license plate and knew that that would be asking for a lot of trouble. So before setting off in the morning, we make sure to re-secure it in a noticeable location.
Hey Jake, what are you doing?
Oh, just normal Subaru things. They tend to burn oil, they tend to lose coolant. So, just Subaru things. Today we have another long day of driving ahead of us, and with lack of sleep from the previous night before, we can see here how different groups are dealing with the morning. We are now on our way to our first roadside attraction, and it's not much of a detour. Up north of a town called Alliance in Nebraska is a monument known as Carhenge. Carhenge was created by Jim Reinders, and when asked why he built it, he simply replied with, "Well, why not?" With no giant stones in the area for his sculptures, he chose materials that were readily available and simply stacked and fused them into place. To keep all these cars as timeless as England's Stonehenge, every vehicle was painted in a heavy sealer coating. It's kind of fun to think that these old historic cars could have been on a road trip just like ours, but back in the day. So last year, I took 4 adults and a whole lot of camping gear down to Missouri, and that was before I did my motor swap. So it was a 4-cylinder, and it did not like the extra weight. We were following our Toyota Tacoma friends, and whenever we would hit an uphill, we would lag extremely far behind, and even when I'm downshifting, there was no keeping up with that little 4-cylinder. But now that I have the H6 motor in here, it can handle all of that weight and more. So just in that aspect, it really pulls the car together, and it honestly makes it the sport venture vehicle that I wanted. It's now ready for road trips. It's crazy how much power difference adding those 2 cylinders were. After leaving Alliance, we head west once again until we finally pass into Wyoming and are greeted with a nice change in scenery. We stay this course for another 3 hours of driving until we reach another nice roadside stop. So we've been driving about 3.5 hours, and we finally made it to Wyoming.
We're in Wyoming. We actually found this Lincoln Memorial. It's right off the interstate. We decided to stop by and check it out.
Now that we've gotten this far, we have just 400 miles ahead of us. Even though the roads through Wyoming are beautiful, the sheer number of miles is starting to weigh heavy on us. By the time that we reach the Utah border, we have been on the road for 16 hours. But as soon as we pass into the state, Utah is easily recognizable. Much like our first night on the road, we will be reaching our hotel late into the night, and looking forward to a much needed night's sleep. Boom. All right. Hey, where we at?
We are in Utah.
All right, guys. So that's gonna be a wrap on this video.
We finally made it. We made it to Utah. We are in Salt Lake City currently.
So tomorrow morning, we're gonna get all our stuff together, and it's about an hour, 2-hour drive, and we're gonna be on the Salt Flats. So that's all we got for you guys, huh?
Yeah, stay tuned. This is the first part of the series we're doing. The next one's gonna be where our real adventure starts.
All right, we'll catch you guys later.